Alright everybody, it's Sprout here, welcome back to the channel, hoping you're doing all well today. Now today's video topic is going to be positioning when you start the match. Now a lot of people nowadays, especially on this game, know exactly where you spawn. And I'm hoping after this video I can help you to survive a bit better come the initial spawn. Doesn't matter what map you play on, what mode you play on, day mode, night mode, solos or duos, your position is going to be the key part of your survival on Lost Light. So let's get into it. Alright, guys, I'll be back in a minute. So everybody, on Lost Light, you've got BAF Factory, you've got Mount Akiyama, and you've got Windswept Harbour at the moment. I haven't heard any news of new maps coming, but if I do, don't worry, you'll be the first to know. And it's, of course, if I'm allowed to see it, because sometimes I say I'm not allowed to see this, I'm not allowed to see that. I've got secrets that you've only dreamed of anyway. So each map has got literally two sides to the spawns, except BF Factory is more or less the same places every time. Now, majority of players, if you played for a while, like myself, will know every single spawn point. They'll know exactly where to look for players. They'll know the more or less the routes that all players will take when they spawn. They'll think, right, I've spawned in this little room. They'll probably go out this door. There'll be somebody in front of us. There'll be somebody at my left or somebody at my right. And they'll just wait for you with a grenade or a trip mine if I can ever add them back in the game. Or, you know, they'll wait for you to come around the corner and gun you down to your stuff, and that's you out the game. Now, hopefully after this video I'm going to teach you some special skills that I use that'll help you to survive that initial thing. Now, they're going to apply to all maps. Obviously all maps have a different strategy. BAF Factory is the main one where it's going to have a different strategy to the other two maps entirely. And it's one of them things where it's a certain thing that I do every game that doesn't always keep us alive, but the majority of the time it will. And it's a super secret Sprout thing that I will share with you in this video. Now we're going to start with the bigger maps, because the bigger maps are the ones I play the most, because I like me long range shooting, I like me sniping, I like to, you know, run around, not be killed by a corner camper with a shotgun, that sort of thing. So when you spawn on these maps, right, if you know the other spawn points, run for them. Go kill players by all means. I sometimes do it depending on which spawn I get, like Golf Course. Golf Course is a brilliant one because everyone spawns in like a semicircle around Golf Course, and if you're lucky enough to spawn in the south, you can just run northwards and you find 2 or 3 players more or less crapping themselves, because on one side you've got Sniper Evan, and the other side you've got players, and they're just sort of like hoping, sitting behind a tree, waiting in the bush, hoping nobody sees them and they can get away to get some loot. But what I'm going to suggest is, to avoid players like me who will rush you, is to get out of there straight away. The worst thing you can do, guys, is sit in your spawn area, and I mean this literally. If you sit where you are, somebody will know where you are. You might get the odd game, especially lower level, where nobody knows the spawn points, or, you know, they're new to the game, they don't really know what they're doing, and you might get away with it. But once you get in the higher levels, I'm talking 15 or more, people should have learned the maps by then. They should know where the spawn points are. They should have spawned in each of the points themselves at least 30 times now, so they know exactly where it is. And that is when you're in trouble. But also, you don't want to fall in the trap of being too confident in it, because there's no telling that every spawn point, especially on Windswept Harbour, is going to be the same. Windswept Harbour is like the exception where people can spawn at either side of the map at any point. I mean, I've seen myself spawn at the 35-minute mark, bang, start the game. I've ran 5 minutes down the road, and there's been a player on the road that already spawned in at the other side of the map waiting on us, pretending to be a bot and killed us. It's ridiculous, but it happens. So you just have to be prepared for that sort of thing to happen. Don't lose heart. But generally, if it's day mode will have more bots in it than night mode. So day mode, watch for marauders everywhere. They're going to be, you know, mincing around, waiting to shoot you. Just take them out as soon as possible, but don't rush to loot them. Your most ideal strategy at the start of the game is to be aware of every single surrounding you've got. Get into a good position, run away from where you spawn, find a tree or a rock or something, and just look around a bit, you know. Find the marauders that are roaming about. By this point you should know where they spawn, where they patrol, which ones to look out for. The riflemen are the worst ones. Watch for the riflemen. Mount Akiyama, near the tram line, they're the worst ones. They'll gun you down in seconds if you're not paying attention. But what you want to do, you just need to keep your head about you. Run around in circles for a bit. Sprint far away from your spawn area. Don't run straight to the loot areas. That's what everybody does. That's if you're feeling up for PvP, do that. But if you want to get a good, decent loot from the game, you want to survive longer, you need to make sure that the first 2 minutes are your priority. Once you've got the first 2 minutes out of the way on the larger maps, the rest is a breeze. You can run around, you can be not like this guy on the bridge, you know, stand in the open very early in the match shooting, because, I mean, I saw him a mile off, I heard him a mile off, and yes, I was missing a couple of shots, but then I got a couple of good ones on him, and this is when I thought, right, I'm going to take advantage of this guy on the bridge. Yeah, I'm just going to charge him. And he didn't really have anywhere to go. He had a bot on one side, me on the other side, just lob a grenade straight at the top. I know exactly where he is because he didn't really move, and he's been knocked out. I did feel a bit sorry for him though, and looking at his lack of gear, I thought I'll team up with this guy. But I did, you know, before running straight for the loot like a lot of people do, make sure I checked the area first, took out the bot he was shooting at, because obviously he was shooting at someone when I shot him, so I have to make sure that his target is dead as well, and make sure to actually revive him or loot him. I was safe to do so. Now guys, let's swing back to Factory briefly, because Factory's a weird one, because there's that many spawns at it. I mean, I don't know, there's 10 spawns I think. Some are in a little cubby hole near the escape point. Some like this one are quite out the way, and I'm going to advise you to just stay still. With Factory, with it being this small, this guy here pushing into the room, I mean, naked guy runs straight past. He must have known I was there. No chance there. But anyway, guys, Factory being so little and so close knit and stuff, if you run around like an idiot, you're going to get shot by every single bot walking around. Every single player's going to hear you run around. Wait for all the players, the rest of the players, to kill each other first, then come out of your little hidey hole and wreak havoc. If you run out straight away, like I say, you've got more chance of dying, you've got more chance of being annihilated and losing all the hard-earned gear you just went in with. So just wait for everybody else to kill each other. That's what I do. I'll sit and wait, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute. Most players will run straight out, like I say. The time you're sitting there, someone could run to you, like happened at the start of this video, or most people will waste all the durability of their armor running around aggroing every single bot they see, marauder, you know, player, throwing grenades here, there and everywhere. A lot of people spawn naked with grenades. If you run straight out, they'll kill you straight away. A lot of them will waste their 2 or 3 grenades in the first 5 minutes of the game, so just bear with it. And when you do leave your, you know, your hiding place or your spawn area, just take it easy, you know, just don't run around like this is a game of Call of Duty. Remember, it's Lost Light, it's slow paced. You want to stay alive, you want to escape with your loot. Now, as you see in the clip here, these stupid bots, you know, they just sidestep right as you're going to shoot them. I'm sure they know. But follow bots, right? If they're not shooting at you, they will lead you to players. Like, the players just killed that one there. I thought he was going to go escape. Don't know what was going on with my bullets here, because I was aiming right at him. It was still hitting the thing I was on. And I did a stupid thing, you know. I jumped off. I could have broke my leg, but I didn't. And I did manage to kill this. By the looks of it, naked spawner, spawn with his pistol, hoping for the best. But guys, I mean, if you get to start the game nailed, you manage to spend the rest of the game, you know, fully kitted up. When you run into people like this, I'm having a little duel of people here. People duel up in solos, so they try to push us, and I sort of flanked round and came around the other way. I didn't realise the second guy had already been picked up at this point when I started reviving that guy. The other guy started shooting us, try to rush us, but positioning, if this was a fresh spawn, you know, I was behind the tree, he ran to me, he had to suffer the consequences for not being in cover, and that is one of the main points. If you spawn on maps like this, in populated areas, golf course and stuff, move position, get behind some nice cover, and wait for them to come to you, or even if you watch your own spawn point to make sure that if someone does rush you, you've got the jump on them. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Do hit that like button, make sure you do subscribe, and let us know in the comments how you get on with this new strategies, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.